it's time to see who has the heart.
If you put your effort and concentration into playing to your potential, to be the best that you can be, I don't care what the scoreboard says at the end of the game, in my book, we're going to be winners.
This is your life. Now go out there and take it.
This is a simple game. You throw the ball, you hit the ball, you catch the ball. You got it!
Welcome to a special edition of Applebee's Tailgate Talk, live on location. Don't go away, Applebee's Tailgate Talk is next. Come see all your friends at Applebee's in Athens, Highway 72 West, just off I-65. 12 minutes guaranteed or it's free, Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. 7 items to choose from. Can't make it for lunch? Visit them for happy hour, 3 p.m. to 7 p.m. or late night. Half-price appetizers with beverage purchase, 6 appetizers to choose from. One of your favorite teams is sure to be playing on the big screen, too. See you tomorrow at Applebee's Neighborhood Grill, Highway 72 Athens, just off I-65. Real estate real easy. That's the motto at Innovative Realty Solutions, and providing the highest quality real estate services is their mission. With sound real estate advice, the latest information, and a skilled analysis of the real estate market, Innovative Realty Solutions offers a better home buying and selling experience with a fair, ethical, and, yes, innovative process. Innovative Realty Solutions. Visit them on Facebook, online at innovativerealtysolutions.com, at 100 North Clinton Street in Athens, or call 230-5950. Innovative Realty Solutions. Real estate, real easy. When things go wrong, State Farm is here to help life go right. And Agent Michael Howell is the one who can help get things back on track. See Michael for your auto, home, life, health, property, and business insurance, and be ready for those unexpected twists that life throws at you. Ask about banking and annuities, too. Call State Farm Agent Michael Howell at 232-5400. Visit him online at michaelhowell.net or go see him at 903 South Clinton Street in Athens. State Farm Agent Michael Howell. There when things go wrong, here to help life go right. Daly & Son Car Care is Ardmore's only one-stop auto repair and tire shop. Whether it's major mechanic or brake work or routine maintenance like an oil change or lube job, Daly & Son Car Care has been satisfying customers all over with their fast and friendly service. They're also your headquarters for quality Cooper tires. Stop by and see Wayne, Nikki, or Dale at 25600 Main Street in Ardmore, Tennessee, or call them at 931-427-4651. They're on Facebook, too. Daly & Son Car Care, open Monday through Friday, 7:30 till 5, and Saturday, 7:30 till noon. Need custom screen printing or other promotional products? Got You Covered Screen Printing and More in Athens is, well, got you covered. Screen printing, promotional items, stickers, graphic design, vinyl for signs and garments, and other customized products. They also offer local pickup and delivery services, rush orders, volume discounts, and can customize any project to meet your needs. Got You Covered guarantees to get the job done and will work hard to make sure you're completely satisfied. Call today, 444-4500, or stop by and see them at 389 West Sandifer Road in Athens. Got You Covered Screen Printing and More. Tune in every Tuesday through Thursday this football season for the WKAC Coaches Shows. Join us as we get the scoop from Ardmore, Athens, Clements, East Limestone, Elkmont, James Clemens, Tanner, and West Limestone. The WKAC Coaches Shows on 1080 WKAC.
Hey, this is West Limestone boys basketball coach Justin Taylor, and you're listening to Applebee's Tailgate Talk.
Hey, good Saturday morning, everyone. Welcome to Applebee's Tailgate Talk. We are live from Cooperfield in Ardmore, Alabama, on the campus of Ardmore High School. Tom McClung here, old Tomcat, alongside one Adam 12, Adam Dawson, producer extraordinaire Tim Lambert, and we are broadcasting live on WKAC, the Big 1080. It's middle school football time, ladies and gentlemen. Adam, can you smell that?
I can smell it.
It's football in the air. Of course, we're sitting right beside the field house, so it could be a little something else. So.
Yeah, that's true, too.
Call or text us at area code 256-812-1848. That's area code 256-812-1TGT. You can find our website online at tailgatetalk.net. Twitter and Instagram, find us at Tailgate Talk AL, and also on Facebook is Applebee's Tailgate Talk. Subscribe to the Applebee's Tailgate Talk archives and available on all major podcast platforms, Amazon Echo. Somebody done some editing this week. Caught me on the fly there. Say, Alexa.
Play Tailgate Talk.
Google Home. Say, okay, Google.
Play Applebee's.
Oh, BZ, I love you and I miss you, brother. Download the Tailgate Talk app for Android or iPhone. We'll be taking the phone calls from the First National Bank hotline, making communities great. And their Tailgate Talk special guest segment brought to you by Yellowhammer Roofing. It happened last night, first weekend of football in the county.
Yeah, yep.
Adam, you were at West.
I was at West.
Ardmore. I was at Clements.
Yep.
I was at James Clements.
You were at James Clements.
And then,
hang on, sir. We're live on the radio.
And then,
that's okay.
And then Thursday, I was at Athens East. So
okay, you got Thursday.
We've had a lot covered this week.
Yeah, and we were at Tanner, Lauderdale County.
Oh, were y'all? Okay,
Thursday night.
That's where the editor of the paper was, Nicole. She was at.
Was she there? Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, I was at West Ardmore last night. Great game.
We've got usually I write my list down, and I didn't write it down today because my mind's on a few other things here. All right, we got a great lineup for us, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to be talking with local coaches. The special guest will be Dave Marinis.
Yes.
Dave Marinis. And he has written the book. He's authored the book, Path Lit by Lightning, the story of Jim Thorpe. And Tim showed me the book, and it's a good 2 inches thick.
Oh, wow.
And so, yeah, this should be a good read. We're going to have local football coaches Jonathan Snider, who's doing a great job hosting this middle school jamboree today here at Ardmore. And Oscar Bonds Tanner, we hope to get him on, and he'll be the only one that's not here. Coach Woodfin from East Limestone should be here at the field, awesome. As will Coach Michael Parker and Shelby Davis, West Limestone.
Awesome.
Michael Parker of Clements. And we'll be waiting in the wings along with AP Steadham, our Swami of the SEC. So much happened, so much to talk about. You want to talk about it all at once, but it's just not possible. Let's start with you, one Adam 12. What did you see or at your game with West and
well, I'm telling you, West. I talked to Shelby Davis, and one thing I learned about West and Ardmore, honestly, is neither of them quit when the momentum wasn't going their way. So West jumped up 19-0 before you could even blink, and Easton Smith. He was making interceptions on defense. He was running for long 50-yard touchdowns on offense. And, they're up 19-0 at halftime. And then, Coach Snider, the good coach that he is, he had them motivated for the second half. And, they cut it 19-14. And then West kind of stole that momentum back. And, Colin Patterson played a really good game. He is really, really good at rolling out of the pocket and making things happen, extending plays. And then I'll tell you, West has some DBs and some wide receivers who, because they go one platoon, double platoon a lot.
Yeah.
And they got some good ball players, and so does Ardmore. That Thomas Colston kid.
Yes.
Man, he's a beast. He's like Peyton Hillis.
Yeah.
He's a really good runner. Jacob Sanchez had 2 touchdowns, and Noah Stafford had a 50-something yard reception touchdown. So a lot to be learned. And then Thursday, I think I was at Athens East.
Yes.
And I learned a lot about both teams. I mean, it was Woodfin's first game out the gate, and the East Limestone kids didn't quit. They were battling some situations, and they showed really good signs. And then obviously Athens. I thought Brogan played a really good game for Athens. I thought the running game was really good for Athens as well, but really, really what I was impressed with was the receivers for Athens.
Yeah.
I thought Spiegel played really well. I thought, obviously, Jay Sean's a great player. And then Meniscus, who I always thought it was Meniscus for a long
Meniscus,
time.
Yeah.
But so I was really, really impressed with Athens. I really, really was.
Cool. And, on Coach Woodfin, on his behalf, he hasn't had a full fall spring. He come in late.
Oh no,
so, yeah.
I think East still has a lot of good things going. I know that the result wasn't what they wanted, but I still think Woodfin's a class act, and I still think East, like I said, has a lot of good things going, and they still showed some good things in that second half too.
Absolutely. Well, let's toss it over to producer extraordinaire. We have so much stuff to fit in the show today. I don't want to talk too much too fast and get the rundown of the scores and more.
Brought to you by P4 Physical Therapy, delivering world-class outpatient care with a purpose. Visit them on Facebook or online at p4physicaltherapy.com. All right, football from Thursday night. Athens over East Limestone 49-14. It was Lauderdale County defeating Tanner 54-30, and Sheffield over Elkmont 47-20. Last night, West Limestone 27, Ardmore 21. Sorry about that, Coach. Clements 48, Holly Pond 34, and
it was a game. It was a heck of a game.
Gardendale 41, James Clements 34.
Yeah.
All right, and some of the more here. Congratulations to Lindsay Lane's Max Morrison for committing to Calhoun baseball.
He's a Warhawk.
A couple of days ago.
Good job, Charles.
And coming up next week, we'll be live at the Elkmont Band Booster Car Show with our special guest, Jean Fruth. She's a sports photographer and author of Grassroots Baseball, Route 66.
Cool.
And so there you go for scores and more, brought to you by P4.
So, ladies and gentlemen, we've got Coach Snider coming back on the backside for Ardmore, but we're going to take a quick break. You're listening to Applebee's Tailgate Talk on WKAC, the Big 1080.
Next week, we'll be live at the Elkmont Band Booster Car Show, featuring special guests, sports photographer and author of Grassroots Baseball, Route 66, Jean Fruth. We'll be back with more Applebee's Tailgate Talk after this. P4 Physical Therapy is a new outpatient provider offering community-based care with a unique partnership model that allows them to consistently deliver world-class outpatient care, emphasizing personalized hands-on treatment. Whether it's orthopedic, physical, geriatric, or manual therapy, sports or neuro rehab, telehealth, or most any type of muscle or joint pain, P4 Physical Therapy promises to treat you with integrity, compassion, faithfulness, and selflessness. Locations in Athens, Huntsville, and Winfield, Alabama, as well as Fayetteville and Knoxville, Tennessee. Look for them on Facebook or online at p4physicaltherapy.com.
From day one, First National Bank has been built on a strong foundation of community first. First to lend a helping hand, first to help with community events and fundraisers, first to support local students, athletic programs, and civic organizations, first to support events like United Way, Relay for Life, and many more charitable events, and most importantly, working for our great community. Without you, there'd be no First National Bank. Making communities great together, that's what we strive for.
Equal housing lender, member FDIC.
Caution. The temperature isn't the only thing soaring this summer. Call Ardmore Telephone Company today and upgrade your internet to move faster than ever. If you're a current customer, we'd love to discuss our internet options so you can connect to everything you need. Give Ardmore Telephone Company a call at 800-830-9946 today. Fiber is not available in all areas.
Hey guys, this is Joanna Clem for CEI Bookstore and Truth Publications. I'd like to personally invite you to visit CEI Bookstore. While you're here, you'll find a wide selection of Bibles, gift items, trustworthy study materials, and more for you and your church. Our friendly staff will be happy to help you with your selections while you shop in the store. We even offer personalized Bible imprinting and gift wrapping. Not in the Athens area? Enjoy shopping with us online at truthbooks.com. CEI Bookstore and Truth Publications, taking his hand, helping each other home.
Applebee's Tailgate Talk wants to recognize our local athletes, and you can help. Go to tailgatetalk.net throughout the school year to vote for the Applebee's Neighborhood Athlete of the Week. The winner will receive a gift card from Applebee's Neighborhood Grill and a t-shirt from Gotcha Covered Screen Printing and more. Submit your own nominations for future polls, too. While you're there, check out the Tailgate Talk archives and see what you might have missed. That's the Applebee's Neighborhood Athlete of the Week. Cast your vote today from Applebee's Neighborhood Grill and Tailgate Talk.
Hi, this is former Auburn safety Rob Tate, and you're listening to Applebee's Tailgate Talk.
And welcome back to Applebee's Tailgate Talk, live here at Cooperfield on the campus of Ardmore High School. Tom McClung, old Tomcat, here alongside One Adam 12, Adam Dotson, producer extraordinaire Tim Lambert, and we've got Coach Snider with the Ardmore High School football, head coach of the football team. Coach, sorry it didn't go your way last night, but thanks for coming and talking football with us this morning.
Oh, absolutely. Appreciate you guys coming up here today. Got this middle school jamboree going on. Got a really good crowd. Actually, good weather. A little breeze blowing.
Yeah, it's not bad.
Not too bad.
Overcast. Hey, thanks a lot for hosting this. This is great, man.
I think it's awesome.
The people, I pulled up here around 9:30, 9:15. We're like, man, there's no place to park now.
I know. I guess when you run out of parking for a middle school jamboree, that's a good thing.
I know. I'm thinking from the head coach perspective, I should have probably charged for parking too.
Maybe so.
No, I'm just kidding. No, it's good to have all these folks out here today.
Adam was there, but what I could see looked like West jumped out fast. You guys came back, fought hard.
Yeah.
First week of high school football. Give us your assessment of it.
Well, hindsight's always 20/20. There's things on my end, that I wish I could go back and change to help our kids, be more successful. Some decisions I made were probably not the best at the time, but that's part of it. I knew West was going to come out with a fire. I knew that they, after losing the last game of the year, last year, and then coming back and facing us again, that they would have that a little bit of an edge. And I tried to preach to our guys this week, and we got a lot of young kids playing, but that's no excuse. And some of that sort of showed early. And we had a decision that I wish I would have had back. We had it, third and goal from the 3 or 3rd and 3 from the 5, something like that. And we should have went with a little bit different package, and we didn't, and then ended up missing the field goal. And, May could have tied it up and maybe slowed the momentum a little bit. But, hats off to Shelby and them. I mean, they were physical. They outplayed us. The first half we dug ourselves a deep hole.
Right.
But I was extremely proud of our kids and our staff that we stayed the course and had a 4th and 3 from West 35 just threw an incomplete pass. So we gave ourselves a chance to get back in the ball game. Got a few key stops and made some big plays on offense. So we're going to learn from it. I mean there were definitely some negatives, but there were some positives, and we got a game under our belt, and we'll see what happens.
Yeah, no, I think you just brought up the positives. I think one of the main positives is obviously the running game. I mean, Colson had over 100, and then Sanchez had 2 touchdowns. So I think that's definitely one thing to take away. And you already touched on the main thing I wanted to talk about was the halftime adjustments, how your team really battled back.
Yep.
And one thing I also found interesting was after the game where you and Coach Davis were together and talked about how that's exactly what y'all wanted out of week 0 in a county rivalry. Just talk to me a little bit about that.
Well, we our running game is something that we try to ride a good bit.
Yep.
We work hard at it. We've worked hard too at expanding our pass game a little bit to help keep some people out of the box. And Hillis in our passing game did a good job. I think Hillis threw for about 150 last night, so that was good. Had a big touchdown.
Yeah.
Biggest thing at halftime is as we were looking at the film, we had some guys just not doing what they were coached to do. It wasn't that they were blatantly not doing it. It's some of that can tie into youth, and I'm trying not to use it as an excuse because it's not. But we just had to get some things fixed and tweak a few things, and we were able to make an adjustment and get a couple of stops and put ourselves in a position to win the ball game. But you're right. I mean, that's what you want football to be. It was a knockdown, drag out. I knew it was going to be.
Yeah.
It was a 12-round boxing match, and unfortunately for us, fortunately for them, they were the last man standing. But that's what you want out of a county rivalry to open the season. There were a huge crowd there.
I bet it was.
It was, it was a good one. I hate we came out on the raw end of the deal, but hats off to them, and we're gonna get it fixed and move forward.
So who you got next week?
West Morgan. Be a home opener here for us.
Yeah, and they won by 20 over Randolph.
They beat a really, really good Randolph team. Coach Phillips and I, he was the OC at Athens. I was a DC at Athens.
Yeah. Okay.
We're really, really close friends. We talked last night till about midnight. We're both
football
year 2 in our head coaching stints, and he runs the same type program that we run here. Trying to be physical, kids do things the right way. Very, very. The moral compass for Drew is very high. He's a Christian guy that tries to preach those values into his kids, and I respect the heck out of him. I mean, I love him to death. He's one of my brothers, and I can't wait to go to battle against him.
Right.
That competition, it's going to be pretty fiery, but I know before and at the end of the day, we're going to remain close friends, and he's got a pretty good football team.
Does he really?
That's going to roll in here.
Yeah, when the headsets get off at the end of the night, you can call him and say, I love you. That's
exactly
always
right.
a good thing.
Yeah, and when we talked previously, I know you said that they were going to be much improved this year.
Absolutely.
It sounds like they're showing it early.
Yeah. They, Randolph, skill-wise, is probably one of the top in the in the areas, in the Metro Huntsville area, I guess.
Yeah.
Right.
They were able to shut them down a good bit and then sort of win the line of scrimmage, and I knew that's what they were going to do. I know Drew. I know what he's about, and they were able to do it. And so they beat a really, really good Randolph team, and they're going to have some momentum. And we got to get some things turned around pretty quick.
Now, being DC as he was OC, does that give you any advantage, you think?
I think a little bit. But here the thing about us is that we're two guys that we are who we are.
Mm-hmm.
We're not going to. We're going to have things that may surprise you, but for the most part, we know exactly what our values are on both sides of the ball. He's going to try to run the football, give you a bunch of formations. We're going to try to stop the run and force you into a pass game, and hopefully, force you into some turnovers. And it does help. We had some battles on the practice field, but Friday nights it was fun because I knew offensively we were going to be prepared. Defensively, just hold them out.
That's right.
We're going to score some points. So it's going to be a fun night.
So let's do a senior spotlight.
There you go.
So we're crowded.
Yeah.
This first hour.
Yeah.
So.
First senior we got is Preston Patterson. Preston is a second-year starter for us. He's a really, really good baseball player. We got him back out. He played some football before. We got him back out last year. Preston's about 6 foot, 210, plays our F position for us. Mm-hmm. Is a really, really good leader for a football team. Works hard in the weight room. Is about a 430 squatter. He's a really, really, really well-rounded young man. Does the right thing and plays his tail off for Ardmore football, and I'm really proud of the growth that he's made through the off season and the leadership that he's showing to our kids. It's really, really good. Preston's a good one.
That's great. Coach, thank you so much for joining us. I know you're busy. We'll let you get back to it. Yeah. Best of luck next week.
Thank you.
Congratulations on the comeback, though. That showed a lot. You kids showed a lot of heart.
We fought a little bit, so we got to build on it. So
absolutely. Thanks again, Coach. Ladies and gentlemen,
guys.
Coach Snider, Jonathan Snider, head football coach for Ardmore High School. We're going to take a break. You're listening to Applebee's Tailgate Talk on WKAC, the Big 1080.
Go to your Amazon Echo and say Play Tailgate Talk, or your Google Home device and say Play Applebee's Tailgate Talk, and hear the show in crystal clear quality. We'll be back with more Tailgate Talk after this.
Limestone Drug, located on the square in downtown Athens, is your local Health Mart pharmacy. As your local Health Mart pharmacy, Limestone Drug is locally owned and has a personal commitment to the community. Limestone Drug honors prescription drug plans, including Medicare. They accept flex spending cards and fill prescriptions in minutes, not hours. Limestone Drug knows there's nothing more important than your family's well-being. So shop Limestone Drug at 200 West Market Street in Athens, your local Health Mart pharmacy. Limestone Drug, caring for you and about you.
Your roof is the first line of defense for your home. Do you have water stains on your ceiling? Paint peeling off your walls? Shingles missing? It's probably time for you to get your free roof inspection. Locally owned and operated, licensed, and insured, Yellowhammer Roofing is the Yellowhammer State hometown team. Yellowhammer Roofing. Let our family protect what's most important to you, your family. 256-232-1933 or online at yellowhammerroofing.com.
Quality Vinyl is on your side. Quality Vinyl in Athens has been in business since 1987, offering great prices and service the whole time. What has changed is the technology of their products. From vinyl siding and shutters, sunrooms and screen rooms, to doors, windows, columns, and rails. Quality Vinyl, located on the corner of Highway 72 and Reed Road in Athens, just 6 miles west of I-65. Call 232-2665 or visit them online at qualityvinyl.net. Quality Vinyl is on your side. Customers Customers agree. There's just something about Scooter's Coffee. Since 1998, their mission has been to keep folks happy by helping them scoot in and scoot out quickly while roasting their coffee from the top 10% of specialty beans in the world. Choose from hot drinks like their Caramelicious and Honey Vanilla Latte to cold offerings like the Strawberry Acai Quencher and Iced Mocha. They've also got smoothies, teas, and blenders. You'll agree, too. There's just something about Scooter's Coffee. Amazing people, amazing drinks, amazingly fast. Scooter's Coffee, 547 Highway 72 West in Athens at Town Center. Scooter's Coffee. Keep up with Athens and Limestone County sports with a Play Action Sports Report. Look for it every Wednesday on your favorite podcast platform. The Play Action Sports Report. Scores, interviews, highlights, and more from school, youth, and amateur sports in Athens and Limestone County. The Play Action Sports Report every Wednesday on your favorite podcast platform or online at pasnetwork.net.
Hey, this is Mark Littell, former pitcher for the Kansas City Royals and the St. Louis Cardinals, and you're listening to Applebee's Tailgate Talk.
And welcome back to Applebee's Tailgate Talk, ladies and gentlemen. Tom McClungle, Tomcat here alongside one Adam 12, Adam Dodson, producer extraordinaire, Tim Lambert. We're going to try to get Coach Oscar Bonds, head coach of Tanner Rattlers, on the First National Bank hotline, making communities great. Wasn't able to get him. Phone went to voicemail, so it's up to Adam and I here to fill a little time. And Adam, talk about what some of the stuff you saw, and I'll talk a little bit about some of the stuff I saw at Clements and Holly Pond.
Yeah, so we've talked a lot about West Ardmore, so I'll talk a little bit more about Athens East. And Larry Howard, that young man can play some football. He's their lockdown corner, number 8 for Athens, and he had a really good game on defense. But where he really shined is he had 3 touchdowns in the first half from the running back spot.
Wow!
When you combine that with Brogan Gross looking really, really good and throwing 3 touchdowns himself. I mean, you got a 49-14 game, or sorry, 49-7 game at halftime, just because they were clicking on all cylinders. I mean, Gross had them ready to play, and I'll tell you what maybe made a little bit of a difference is East didn't play a jamboree because of the coaching switch.
Right.
Woodfin obviously being way more concerned with practice. And
right.
So they did their inter squad. So it's not like they didn't do anything, but. Athens.
They didn't get to see competition from another.
They didn't get
school.
to hit someone else.
Right.
Athens got to hit someone else with St. Michael, and St. Michael being a pretty darn good. I think they're 4A.
Mm-hmm.
Athens just got a little bit more of experience hitting someone else before that game. Now, I don't think it was the difference in the outcome of the game, but I do think it helped the mentality for Athens and the Golden Eagles. So tell me what you saw in the old Holly Pond Clements game.
It was what I saw from Clements, seen from Clements, saw seen. Clements came out with fire on them. They played 4 quarters with fire because that's what it took to win the game.
Yeah.
And I'm sure Clements did not. I underestimated Holly Pond until I saw that 6'12" tight end that they could throw the ball to.
6'12".
That's a joke. And And the quarterback, he was a diminutive-looking little fella. You didn't think anything about it. The lines matched up really well. Clements had a little size advantage. But then that quarterback come around the end on a veer, and he was gone. They just could. He was so fast.
They like the veer?
Yes. And him being the best athlete on the field, that's who got it. Now, a lot of inside runs, Clements had them pretty good. But Clements got weapons all of their own. Brady Moore, senior quarterback, everybody's aware of him. Hey, baby. And Jaden Gilbert, several others. I can't name names because my brain is gone right now. But yes, the intensity, a lot of penalty flags. Don't know. I know Coach Parker got upset a time or two with some of the holding calls, but it was they're in the third quarter. Clements took a 2-touchdown lead and held them on a drive, and I thought the game was over. But next thing you know, here comes Holly Pond back. It was a good, hard-fought football game, start to finish.
Well, you never have problems motivating a Michael Parker team.
No.
I haven't been in this county too long covering it, and I even know that. One thing Coach Parker talked to me about was he has a group that all they've known is Coach Parker. That's what
true.
he said.
Yes.
Because 4 years the same coach, that makes a huge
big difference. Same coach, same weight program.
You know what he's about. You know what the expectations are. You know what the culture is.
Yes.
I mean, it makes all the difference in the world.
And you go. I didn't mean to interrupt there.
No, you're all good.
One thing that has made another difference, believe it or not, is the arrival of Principal Clint Legg.
Yeah.
Clint loves Clements and Clements' coaching staff. I've seen Clint on staffs before where he didn't have the support as a coach from the administrative, and him being in that position now is giving those coaches and those kids everything they can possibly have to succeed on the field. So kudos to Coach Clint Legg.
Good on him too. And I will also say that I think nowadays, I think all the schools in Athens Limestone really do have that good administrative support.
They do.
Obviously, Athens does, and even Lindsay Lane, they're kickstarting their football program. And I know they had varsity goals this year, and just losing a lot of seniors, they weren't able to make that happen. But they're still competing on JV, and they still got Megan Ellison over there, and they got their upper school principal and Katrina Williams, whose husband is the head football coach for LCA.
Yep.
And so you really do get a lot of that administrative support, like you're seeing at Clements, where you got Legg, who's just really, really invested in a lot of it.
Yes, absolutely. Looking forward to talking to Coach Bunio from Elkmont as well.
Yeah.
Sheffield's a good football team. Coach Bunio is come in, first-year head coach.
Yep.
And I think he's going to have the same support. I'm looking forward to seeing what he can do.
Yeah,
I've not known him, but I've known who he was for.
Well, I'll
know where it come from. I'll put it that way.
I'll tell you what. I was on the way to Athens, and East on Thursday, and we got our police scanner.
Yeah.
In the Courier, and I hear that the cops are already getting called out to Boss Hill because people were getting so rowdy or something. So Elkmont's always had that support.
Yes.
And
that community wants to win.
Oh, very much so. And the kids are good. They're good kids. And
yes.
I'm sure Boss Hill didn't have any problems packing out that stadium.
No,
it sounds
definitely not.
Sounds like people were getting rowdy before, like about an hour and a half before kickoff was even happening.
That's good. I love it. Well, is it time to take a break, producer? Not yet. We still going.
We're still going.
Still trying to get Coach Bond.
Listen, there's a lot going on in the county, so there's plenty to talk about.
Absolutely.
I mean, I know. Did y'all say you're all at Tanner Lauderdale? I know.
Yes, we were. We hadn't spoken much about Tanner and Lauderdale.
Yeah. Well, I know a good bit about the kids just from the whole magazine process and preseason coverage, and they got some good, charismatic young men.
Yes, they do.
Their quarterback Carl Parham, he's not settling for anything less than a championship this year.
I know his dad. I talked to his dad after the game, and yes, charismatic, great people. I love them to death.
Good young men, and Casey Hill. I think he got flagged for a late hit in the game. Casey Hill, he's one of their linebackers, and but I mean, people get late hits all the time.
That's part of football.
Every time I see him, he comes up to me and shakes my hand. He's a really good young man, and then you got Skyler at wide receiver, Skyler Townsend. He's a boss.
Yeah.
And then Trevor Peoples is a boss too, number 9. I think he had the first touchdown of the game for Tanner. And then I think Skyler had the second touchdown of the game for Tanner to put him up 14-12.
Well, they were playing a team in Lauderdale County that had a 1,500-yard, 10-touchdown rusher last year.
Yeah, no, Lauderdale is a very, very good football team.
Very good football team.
Very good football.
So to match up like they did and still score like they did, I look for big things in Tanner's area and region.
I mean, they have a very, very dangerous passing attack. And, if they can get Alenius Jackson, their running back number 2, if they can get him going, I mean, they're going to be dangerous.
Right.
Because, they made it farther out of any of the Athens Limestone last year in the playoffs, making it to the second round against Mars Hill.
Yep.
I only think they're going to build on that momentum because here's what's really important. They're all juniors.
They're all juniors, yes.
They're all juniors. And when I say all juniors, I mean literally like probably 95% juniors.
That's good.
Yeah.
So, Tanner folks, do not hang their head. There's a lot of positivity and positive thoughts to come from that football.
No doubt.
Well, it's time to take a break, ladies and gentlemen. You're listening to Applebee's Tailgate Talk on WKAC, the Big 1080.
From day one, First National Bank has been built on a strong foundation of community first. First to lend a helping hand. First to help with community events and fundraisers. First to support local students, athletic programs, and civic organizations. First to support events like United Way, Relay for Life, and many more charitable events. And most importantly, working for our great community. Without you, there'd be no First National Bank. Making communities great together. That's what we strive for.
Equal housing lender, member FDIC. When things go wrong, State Farm is here to help life go right. And Agent Michael Howell is the one who can help get things back on track. See Michael for your auto, home, life, health, property, and business insurance, and be ready for those unexpected twists that life throws at you. Ask about banking and annuities, too. Call State Farm Agent Michael Howell at 232-5400. Visit him online at michaelhowell.net or go see him at 903 South Clinton Street in Athens. State Farm Agent Michael Howell. There when things go wrong, here to help life go right. Real estate, real easy. That's the motto at Innovative Realty Solutions, and providing the highest quality real estate services is their mission. With sound real estate advice, the latest information, and a skilled analysis of the real estate market, Innovative Realty Solutions offers a better home buying and selling experience with a fair, ethical, and, yes, innovative process. Innovative Realty Solutions. Visit them on Facebook, online at innovativerealtysolutions.com, at 100 North Clinton Street in Athens, or call 230-5950. Innovative Realty Solutions. Real estate, real easy. The reviews are in for Box Drop Mattress in Ardmore, and they're awesome. Just like the store. Box Drop in Ardmore has mattresses made in the USA at huge discounts. Plus, they offer flexible payment options and no credit is needed. And they'll deliver right to your door. Box Drop, located at 26561 Main Street in Ardmore. Open Tuesday through Friday, 4:30 to 6:30, and Saturday from noon till 4. Appointments also available by calling 321-8888. Box Drop in Ardmore, 321-8888. WKAC is the official radio station of Athens High football. You can hear the Golden Eagles online by going to WKAC1080.com, by listening on your WKAC Sports app, or on your Amazon Echo or Google Home device. Catch the replay on Saturday at noon, and then listen to the archives anytime on demand. Don't forget the Coach Cody Gross Show every Thursday morning at 10, and the Athens High Coaches Show later on at 1. Your official radio station for Athens High football, 1080 WKAC.
This is up my girl, basketball coach Tom Marlin, and you're listening to Applebee's Tailgate Talk.
And welcome back to Applebee's Tailgate Talk, ladies and gentlemen. Tom McClung here, old Tomcat, alongside One Adam 12, Adam Dodson. Do you know One Adam 12 is actually on WeTV or MeTV, whatever it is?
Yeah, no, I'll have to go check it out.
Yeah, in the morning.
I still have not seen a single episode of Dragnet or whatever.
1970s crime drama, brother. And producer extraordinaire Tim Lambert. We've got the head coach of the West Limestone Wildcats, Coach Shelby Davis, joining us. Coach, congratulations. Big win last night.
Thank you, guys. It was a good game, rivalry game. That's the way it's supposed to be played. It was a physical, tough game, and hats off to Ardmore. I had some of the older guys that been around West Limestone a long time in my office after the game, and they said, Coach, that's not the same Ardmore that we're used to seeing. He said they're much improved, and Coach Snider's done a great job over here.
Yeah, he was a good hire for them.
Yeah, so, I was at the game last night on the sideline just, watching both of y'all play. And one thing you told me last night was y'all did not hit the panic button. And, y'all jump up to this 19-0 lead going into halftime. Ardmore comes out guns blazing second half, but y'all didn't panic. Just talk to me about, the maturity of your group in that way.
Well, I told them, right before we started the second half, I said at some point they're going to get some momentum. Don't hit the panic button. Just keep playing one play at a time, keep doing what you're supposed to do, and eventually, we'll get it back. And that's exactly what happened. Sometimes as coaches, we look like fortune tellers, and sometimes we look like what. But,
yeah,
that's just the way it happened, and that's football. That's
life.
The
game.
That's life.
Yes, it is.
You get momentum, and something bad happens, and, you just got to keep doing what you got to do until you to get the momentum back your way. I'll tell you
you one thing: people in Ardmore are excited about football.
Yes,
I was a little disappointed in our fans last night. You know, we scored to go up 19-0. They're all sitting down up there, and you know, we got to get excited about football. These guys worked their tails off. These coaches worked their tails off. I mean, the place was packed and it was jammed, and I just didn't feel like we were getting that kind of energy from our side. So, you know, those kids deserve it. They worked their tails off. They're up there working out at 6 a.m. in the morning. So, you know, let's get excited about football at West Limestone.
Absolutely.
Yeah, well, you know, I'll be developing a little bit more of a buzz now. You know, you start off with a big county rivalry week in week 0, a big win, and so maybe that'll create a little bit more of that buzz for the Friday nights.
I sure hope so. You know, not very many people's had us picked to win that game, and you know, we got a lot of new guys. You know, I told you 16 out of 22, or 22 starters, and from last year, and I had 2 of those sitting on the sideline last night. So that, you know, were suspended and didn't play. So, you know, we had 4 guys on the field that started last year. So
wow.
You know, I was really impressed with the kids. I told them after the game, you know, I don't know if I've ever been as proud of a team as I am them, because the way we ended last year and the way they worked their tails off and come together as a team and, you know, growing and all that good stuff. You know, that was a game we found a way to lose last year, and we found a way to win this year.
Okay.
You know, just real super proud of them.
Yeah, and you know, you got huge contributions from players playing both sides of the ball. You know, with, like I mentioned earlier with Haven, you know, he made some big hits on defense and made some big catches on offense. You got Easton, who had the pick on defense, and, you know, 4 touchdowns running the ball on offense. So just talk to me, you know, about some of the double contributions these players have, including Colin, you know, because Colin's he did a lot of punting last night too. Whenever the drives came up short, he had some really good effective punts.
Yeah, and if he'd have played defense, if my DB coach would have listened to me, Coach Wallace kept fighting me off. He has a lot of confidence in our freshman JT Winter, and he throwed him out there, and, you know, I trust him, and you know, that's something that's hard sometimes as a head coach, is to trust your assistant coaches and the decisions they make. But they're the guys, they're the ones working with them over there and break up and watching them every day. So, you know, JT did a great job, came in as a freshman and got to play.
That's big, man, because
a lot.
Freshmen and varsity or seniors are massively different in physical growth most of the time.
Yeah, well, going from last year, we had 1 sophomore that played all year last year.
Yeah.
And the rest of them were all juniors and seniors. So, and that was Easton.
Yeah.
Y'all know how good he is. But
great last night.
Yeah, they had to gut it out. You know, one of our running backs was one that was suspended, and so Easton had to suck it up and take his workload. And we had a great contribution from Elijah Regina and Dakota McNair. They stepped in, 2 other seniors, and man, just what a team effort. You know, I didn't hear any bickering. I didn't hear any finger pointing. I didn't hear any of that stuff, you know. And Colin did a great job. He had one and, you know, he lost his cool for a minute and cost us one, but he made a great play and made up for it. And then
sure did.
They made one. They got a 15-yarder, you know, hitting him later over there on the sideline. So, you know, he came back to us late in July, and, you know, he's done everything we've asked him to do and made up all his misses and all that good stuff. So, I was real proud of him last night too.
Yeah, and one thing I thought, you know, was a really significant impact on the game was his ability to roll out of the pocket and extend plays. It really seemed like that made a big impact on the game.
Yeah, you know what else has a big impact on? My heart rate. We'd like for him to sit in there and throw the ball, but, you know, he's a playmaker. You know, he showed since sophomore year he can get out of there and make plays. And you know, last year I think he kind of got maybe a little careless with it, but last night I thought he did a great job. He throwed it away when he needed to throw it away. He made a play when he could make a play, and, you know, he ran it when he needed to run it. So, you know, we continue to ask him to do those things and take care of the football.
Is he a senior this year?
He is.
Oh, wow, time's flying.
Yeah.
I got here, these kids were in 8th grade. So, you know, we've been together a long time, and this is, you know, a good group. We've lost a few over the way, but, this group is tight, and it's something special to watch when you got a group that comes together like that.
Absolutely. Yeah, and you brought up the whole experience thing. How a lot of them are young, but when they've been a part of your program and all they've known is you, and during your time there, it probably makes it a little bit easier with that youth and maybe a little bit of that inexperience starting.
Yeah, it definitely does, and it just builds continuity and all that stuff with the kids and the staff, and I'm just super proud of them. They've done a great job overcoming what the end of last year didn't end well for us. It was a bad time for us, losing the last 3 and not making playoffs, and had some people quit, and so they've done a good job of kind of staying on a baseline through all that and coming together, and just again super proud of them.
So this week,
Clements comes to us.
We'll be out there too.
Will y'all?
Yes.
And I say y'all, I'll be in the stands. It'll be the first time I've ever been on the opposite side of a West Limestone Clements rivalry.
You don't have to go over there. I mean, you can stand on our side.
Bro, the blood's thicker than water. No, he's getting his coaching teeth cut this morning with the middle school stuff, and it's first year for him to coach. He played a lot, so I'm excited. And but this is West Limestone's interview right now. So
that's right.
Yes, sir. So next week's Clements. Clements comes once again 2 home games. Clements comes to.
Well, we got I think our first 5 out of 6 games at home.
Really?
Like yeah. Well, we played first 3 in a row at home, and then we end the last 3 on the road. So we need to get off to a fast start.
Yes.
Well, y'all certainly did last night, and it's interesting. Not too many teams, I feel like, start off with 2 straight rivalry games to begin the year. I mean, that alone has at least created a lot of buzz, just within your own football team.
Well, yeah. It's not hard to get them up to. Coach Snider talked about it. He said, "I'm sure they had plenty of ammunition." After the way last season ended, and we just, they fed off of that, and we got Clements this week. I told them enjoy it. Come Monday morning at 6 a.m. We ain't worried about but one person.
We're not celebrating anymore.
Right. That's Clements. We got to go to work. So nobody cares about what you did. They want to know what you're going to do.
So have you gotten a chance to look at them yet?
I hadn't. I know
it was just last night.
Yeah, unless he's changed a lot, I kind of know what to expect. Coach Parker does a good job, and they'll be fired up to play us, so we better be ready to play.
That's the thing about both you coaches. Y'all bring fire to the table. You bring well-prepared teams to the field.
I appreciate that.
Yes.
Well, let's do a senior spotlight, and we'll let you go.
Well, I'm gonna go with how many you want me to do? 2?
Let's just do 1, because we're.
All right. Let me go with Elijah Regina.
Mm-hmm.
He starts at outside linebacker for us, and with the other running back being out, I'm kind of hard on him, and he don't always take it the right way, but he did a great job last night running the football, giving us some carries. Easton cramped up there just for a second.
Yeah.
And he did a great job going in there and playing defense and playing offense, and he's on several special teams. So, we're just real proud of him, and he's waited 3 years for this. It's his first year starting, so he's played a lot of JV, but he hasn't played varsity. But proud of the way he competed and hung in there last night. Did a great job for us. I counted the other day. We're playing about 18 guys.
Wow.
Okay.
So it's a lot of 2 platooning, and he did a great job for us last night, stepping up when the time needed.
Absolutely. Well, Coach, thank you so much for joining us, man. Appreciate your time, sir.
Yes, sir.
See you Sunday morning.
Absolutely.
And we attend church together,
oh, yeah?
So I had to throw that out there for us.
I'll start going there, too.
Come on out, brother. We'd love
it.
Love to see you. Coming to the 9:45 service.
Yes, sir.
All right, dude. It's time to take a quick break. You're listening to Applebee's Tailgate Talk on WKAC, the Big 1080.
Hear Applebee's Tailgate Talk anywhere you go by downloading the Tailgate Talk app for your Android or iPhone. We'll be back with more after this. Quality Vinyl is on your side. Quality Vinyl in Athens has been in business since 1987, offering great prices and service the whole time. What has changed is the technology of their products. From vinyl siding and shutters, sunrooms and screen rooms, to doors, windows, columns, and rails. Quality Vinyl, located on the corner of Highway 72 and Reed Road in Athens, just 6 miles west of I-65. Call 232-2665 or visit them online at qualityvinyl.net. Quality Vinyl is on your side.
Caution. The temperature isn't the only thing soaring this summer. Call Ardmore Telephone Company today and upgrade your internet to move faster than ever. If you're a current customer, we'd love to discuss our internet options so you can connect to everything you need. Give Ardmore Telephone Company a call at 800-830-9946 today. Fiber is not available in all areas.
P4 Physical Therapy is a new outpatient provider offering community-based care with a unique partnership model that allows them to consistently deliver world-class outpatient care, emphasizing personalized hands-on treatment. Whether it's orthopedic, physical, geriatric, or manual therapy, sports or neuro rehab, telehealth, or most any type of muscle or joint pain, P4 Physical Therapy promises to treat you with integrity, compassion, faithfulness, and selflessness. Locations in Athens, Huntsville, and Winfield, Alabama, as well as Fayetteville and Knoxville, Tennessee. Look for them on Facebook or online at p4physicaltherapy.com. Daly & Son Car Care is Ardmore's only one-stop auto repair and tire shop. Whether it's major mechanic or brake work or routine maintenance like an oil change or lube job, Daly & Son Car Care has been satisfying customers all over with their fast and friendly service. They're also your headquarters for quality Cooper tires. Stop by and see Wayne, Nikki, or Dale at 25600 Main Street in Ardmore, Tennessee, or call them at 931-427-4651. They're on Facebook, too. Daly & Son Car Care, open Monday through Friday, 7:30 till 5, and Saturday, 7:30 till noon. Keep up with local school, travel, youth, and amateur sports throughout the week with the Play Action Sports Update. Listen weekday mornings at 7:30 and weekday afternoons at 1:30 and 3:30 as we bring you the latest scores, news, and announcements from Limestone County and surrounding communities. That's the Play Action Sports Update 3 times a day, Monday through Friday on 1080 WKAC.
Hi, this is Scott Hunter, former Alabama Crimson Tide and NFL quarterback, and you're listening to Applebee's Tailgate Talk.
Welcome back to Applebee's Tailgate Talk, ladies and gentlemen. It's Tom McClung, old Tom Cat, here alongside 1 Adam 12, Adam Dodson, producer extraordinaire Tim Lambert, and we are live at Cooperfield on the high school campus of Ardmore High School in Ardmore, Alabama. And just right over there is Ardmore, Tennessee, but we won't talk about that right now. No. We got head coach Michael Parker of the Clements Colts, fresh off a good victory last night. And, Coach, it was a good win. There's a lot of frustrating things, but it was a good win.
It was a good win. We played well, especially offensively. We played well. Yeah. We shot ourselves in the foot several times. Just stupid penalties, and I don't know that we did all of them, but you ain't gonna win that fight.
Not gonna win that fight.
I'm gonna fight it, but I'm not gonna win it.
I told my wife last night, there was a guy down there that was yelling and yelling. I said, that was me 15 years ago. So I was quiet.
But we put 48 on the board and had 4 called back. So,
yes.
Wow.
They did.
I say we had 1 4th down conversion and never punted. So we had a good night offensively. Our offensive line just dominated.
They did.
Y'all never punted?
Never punted.
Really?
No. So, offensively, we did okay. There's some things to work on, obviously, first game. But we got a long way to go. But, defensive stuff, we got to take better angles on tackling folks.
But I'm going to give kudos to that little 5'2" quarterback of Holly Pond. That sucker's shifty, and he is fast.
He's shifty. One of my coaches texted me. He said, "Coach, I'm looking at a little miniature Johnny Manziel." I said, "Yeah, he's shifty now. He could go." And that big 81, he wasn't great, but he's a big old target.
Big old target. So, he finally caught one there to the end.
Yeah, he did.
But
we played well. There's just a whole lot of mistakes that we got to fix. And, West Limestone's not Holly Pond, so we got to fix those quick.
That's true.
To be able to compete. So, like you said, it was a good win. It was a good win, great win for the community. Man, our student section was awesome.
What, was they not awesome or what?
Were they jumping pretty good?
Well, they had the safety vests and the hat, and the middle of the fourth quarter, almost like maybe 3 or 4 minutes left. They all run down to the gate. Every one of them run down to the gate, and Coach, you probably share on that better than me. But that's when you finally closed the game out. You knew that, it was going to take, it's a minute and 44 seconds. It was going to take 2 scores. You guys held them on 4th down, I believe.
Yeah. It was a minute and 44 seconds ago, and I seen this drove of people going off the bleachers. And I thought, what is it? And I looked at the student section. So then I looked back, and they're down here at the gate waiting for the game to end. And I sent one of my assistant coaches down there and said, hey, go tell the deputies to let them in.
There you go.
Nice.
So they went down there and said, they can't come on the field right now. I said, I want them on the sideline behind us. So anyway, they deserve that. They come on cheering as they run on. I'm having to get them off the field, get them on the sideline.
That's high school football.
Man, it was a great atmosphere.
That must have been a theme from last week because
Lauderdale County had their
same thing
with the safety vests with the hard hats at Tanner.
I heard that. The editor that was there, she sent me that. So yeah, maybe it was just a theme. That's interesting though. Yeah. But Coach, like you said, it was a good win. But first game, obviously, there's going to be some mistakes. But what did you learn about the group last night, just in general?
I think they learned a whole lot about themselves.
Yeah.
I pretty much knew what I had going in. But that group at Clements, ever since I've been there, we've had some good athletes and we've had some good play at times, but we've never had a complete unit. And they played as a unit last night.
They did.
As a whole unit. Man, the offensive line, I can't say enough about them.
Your offensive line got some mean and grit to them.
They do.
What I saw last night.
They do, and they smelt blood and they went after it.
Mm-hmm.
I think on one of the kickoff returns, I think Jacob Peoples knocked that kid under the bleachers.
Yeah,
I was just about to ask about him.
Yeah, he's.
Who was number 50? Black kid.
That was Kobe Turner.
Kobe Turner,
dog.
You talking about a beast, man?
Yeah.
He didn't stop. I mean, I'd say if he could run them, it's like that block in the blind side where he's running him and he blocks him. If he could have done that, he would have.
He would have because we teach them to block to the whistle, and that's what they did. I mean, sometimes a little bit after the whistle, and if we get flagged for that, so be it. So be it.
Every play in the fourth quarter, you scored a touchdown the last 2 or 3 times. I didn't even watch the kid cross the finish line. Yeah. You're not saying anything about this, Coach. It's in your contract. But I was looking back for the goddamn holding flags.
Right, yeah.
I mean, that's how often in the tropes, like you said, how many 4 you had called back?
4 called back. I mean, it was just
and it was far away from the play. It wasn't there.
And here's the deal, man. I don't remember getting a holding penalty on a 1st and 10, and we get 6 or 7 yards. It was a holding penalty. It was always on the breakaway.
Yeah, it was.
Interesting.
And it was always behind the play where everybody else is watching.
The last, it wasn't the last. The time, the 3rd touchdown they called back, we run a sweep, and my offensive tackle, number 50, Kobe, pancaked the kid. He didn't get up off of him fast enough. They called holding.
Yeah.
I mean, it's 4th quarter. He's tired.
Yeah.
He's tired. I mean, he killed it all night. He's tired.
Did, yes.
So I'm saying,
I was wondering why, because
I'm sitting here watching film, and he got up off of him. I mean, he didn't bounce up off of him, but he got up off of him. It was like he rubbed him in the dirt.
Or like bad intentions, or
right.
Yeah. And we're not complaining about the officials. We're stating facts that we saw on the football.
Right.
I'm the announcer. I'm not in contract.
Contractually, you're fine. And
I'm not saying anything bad about officials. I'm just calling the football game that I watched.
So let's take a look at West Limestone. We'll be out there covering that game, and then we'll get your senior spotlight after that.
All right. West, I ain't watched a whole lot of film on them yet. That's what I'll spend most of my evening doing. So, they're West Limestone, man. They're going to be strong. They're going to be physical. Shelby does a good job over there with those kids. They play hard for him. And, they look at Clements as a win.
Mm-hmm.
And that's a big factor going into it. If you're confident you can beat somebody, it plays a big factor into it. So we got to overcome that and understand that last night wasn't a fluke.
Right.
We're here to play.
Yes.
Right. This group is the first group I've had that's mine. They come with me all the way through. So, you know, I'm not saying anything about the prior coaches, but we know each other. That's what I'm saying.
Right.
I can call a play from sideline, any formation, and my quarterback just knows.
Right.
I can change up a formation. He knows.
And mention your quarterback there. He played with a lot of heart because part of the way of the game, he got a little sick of his stomach, I think. Yeah. And that third quarter, he never. Third quarter, fourth quarter, he was giving it everything he had.
Yeah, I had to pull him out there for a minute. He takes. I was telling my wife on the way up here, he takes a lot of stress and pressure on himself. Mm-hmm. He thinks this is his football team, and that's the way it should be.
Right.
You know, and he takes care of the offensive lineman. So he takes that as his football team, and he's the leader there. So a lot of anxiety built up into the game, and then the nerves, the butterflies, and all that stuff get to you.
And it's the first game of the season, so he comes out and he's giving everything he's got because he's wide open. And next thing you know, you hit that wall that requires patience to go the endurance.
Exactly.
All right. Coach, go ahead and give us a senior spotlight real quick.
Brady Moore,
that's a good one.
Man, I was going to read y'all.
He can squat a half-ton truck. Yeah, just about.
He can. Last time I got him at 635. Yeah, so
that's pretty stout.
Yeah, he went last night's stats. He went 5 for 6 for 206 yards and 2 touchdowns. He rushed 15 carries for 141 yards and 2 touchdowns. Had 10 tackles on the defense and 1 interception, a block extra point.
Can't do much better than that.
I think that's a spotlight.
That's a good spotlight.
Yeah, that's a good spotlight.
Coach, thanks for joining us. Congratulations on the win. Best of luck next week. And ladies and gentlemen, it's time to take a quick break. You're listening to Applebee's Tailgate Talk on WKAC, the Big 1080.
Your roof is the first line of defense for your home. Do you have water stains on your ceiling, paint peeling off your walls, shingles missing? It's probably time for you to get your free roof inspection. Locally owned and operated, licensed, and insured, Yellowhammer Roofing is the Yellowhammer State hometown team. Yellowhammer Roofing. Let our family protect what's most important to you, your family. 256-232-1933 or online at yellowhammerroofing.com.
Customers agree. There's just something about Scooter's Coffee. Since 1998, their mission has been to keep folks happy by helping them scoot in and scoot out quickly while roasting their coffee from the top 10% of specialty beans in the world. Choose from hot drinks like their Caramelicious and Honey Vanilla Latte to cold offerings like the Strawberry Acai Quencher and Iced Mocha. They've also got smoothies, teas, and blenders. You'll agree, too. There's just something about Scooter's Coffee. Amazing people, amazing drinks, amazingly fast. Scooter's Coffee, 547 Highway 72 West in Athens at Town Center. Scooter's Coffee.
Hey guys, this is Joanna for CEI Bookstore and Truth Publications. Many of you are searching for Bible study materials for your Bible classes. Our best-selling Bible curriculum, Discovering God's Way, is a reliable tool for teaching students of all ages through the Bible in its entirety. We're sure you'll love this curriculum, and if you'd like to see other options of Bible classes, we'll be happy to help you select from our topical studies. So stop struggling with the search and come by and let us help you select reliable and meaningful study materials for your class today. CEI Bookstore and Truth Publications, taking his hand, helping each other home.
Limestone Drug, located on the square in downtown Athens, is your local Health Mart pharmacy. As your local Health Mart pharmacy, Limestone Drug is locally owned and has a personal commitment to the community. Limestone Drug honors prescription drug plans, including Medicare. They accept flex spending cards and fill prescriptions in minutes, not hours. Limestone Drug knows there's nothing more important than your family's well-being. So shop Limestone Drug at 200 West Market Street in Athens, your local Health Mart pharmacy. Limestone Drug, caring for you and about you.
Bring the man in motion across the line of scrimmage. They give it to him on the sweep play. He's outside, got a little bit of room now. Down the sideline, cuts it back. He's angling for the end zone, and he will score. Wow. Touchdown.
Join us this football season for Limestone County football, streamed right to your computer or mobile device on the Play Action Sports app. You can also hear it on your Amazon Echo by saying, Alexa, open Play Action Sports. Listen later on demand or download anytime you want by going to the archives at pasnetwork.net. Limestone County football from Play Action Sports.
Hey, this is Charles Morrison, varsity baseball coach with Lindsay Lane Christian Academy, and you're listening to Applebee's Tailgate Talk.
And welcome back to Applebee's Tailgate Talk. I am Adam Dodson, and we are at Cooper Field, home of the Ardmore High School Tigers, where we are at the middle school jamboree over here at Tailgate Talk. And now we got a very special guest here. His name is David Marinus. He is the author of Path Lit by Lightning, The Life of Jim Thorpe. David, how you doing?
I'm doing fine. It's a little rainy here. I'm in Madison, Wisconsin, but everything's good.
Okay, great. Well, we really appreciate you taking the time to speak to us about this book that it's huge.
Well, thank you. I'm delighted to talk with you.
Yes, sir. So, really, where I want to start off is you mentioned in the book how you call him a mythic talent. Talk to me a little bit about the myth of Jim Thorpe. Being in the era he was, and about just the more of the legend about him and his story.
Well, it's hard to compare athletes from different generations because of differences in diet and training and equipment and so on.
Yeah.
But Jim Thorpe was a mythic talent. What he did is unparalleled in American sports history before or since. No one else has won the decathlon and pentathlon in the Olympics, been an All-American football player twice, the first great pro football player, the founder and first president of what became the National Football League, and a Major League Baseball player.
Yeah.
That trifecta is unparalleled, and that was Jim Thorpe.
Well, yeah, no, you also talk a little bit about what he overcame. So not only was he this mythic figure, but he was also, very, very much targeted for, his background. Talk to me a little bit about, the obstacles he overcame in that regard.
Yeah, the reason I wrote the book is because I could see both the drama of his story and illuminate American history and sociology through his life. Jim Thorpe was born in Indian Territory. He was a member of the Sac and Fox Nation. He was a descendant in the clan of the great Sac and Fox warrior Black Hawk. He went off to an Indian boarding school at age 16. The motto of the boarding schools was kill the Indian, save the man. In other words, take all of the Indianness out of them, rid them of their culture, their language, their religion, cut their hair and dress them in the uniforms of the U.S. Cavalry, and try to assimilate and acculturate them into white society. And that represented a lot of what he had to deal with throughout his life.
Okay. And, I feel like that plays a huge role not only into his success, but also the myth of him is that he had to deal with all these other things that were completely non-sports related.
Oh, absolutely. And even, at the height of his fame when he won those gold medals, they were taken away from him. They were rescinded for nefarious reasons. He had played minor league baseball in the Bush Leagues for 2 summers when he was at Carlisle, in the Eastern Carolina League. But literally, Adam, hundreds of college athletes were playing summer league baseball then for a little bit of pay. Most of them were doing it under aliases. Dwight Eisenhower, the future president, played under the name Wilson in the Kansas State League. But Jim Thorpe played under the name Jim Thorpe. And when the story broke that he had played after the Olympics, several important people denied that they knew what he was doing when they did know, just to save their own reputations.
Right.
And in essence, it was easier for them to throw this Native American under the bus than to acknowledge the whole system was corrupt.
Interesting. And, I just kind of want to segue off that to, talk to me a little bit about how you came up with the title of the book, Path Lit by Lightning.
Sure. Path Lit by Jim Thorpe was born in 1887 along the banks of the North Canadian River in central Oklahoma. And there was a thunderstorm the night when he and his twin brother Charlie were born, and he got the name Path Lit by Lightning. It's the Sac and Fox name for him, translated from Wathohawk, and that's where I got the name. And it's both a poetic name and it illuminates his life.
Yeah, no, I find that very interesting, that because you really encapsulate, his Native American background while also coming up with, really what his path was.
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
And it was a long and interesting path. Believe me, I've never encountered somebody who during his lifetime met so many interesting people. You know, he played football against Dwight Eisenhower and Omar Bradley, the other general in World War II. On his Olympic team in 1912 was George S. Patton. He went to Hollywood and acted with Bob Hope, and Burt Lancaster played him in the movies. I mean, he played baseball against Negro Leaguer greats Satchel Paige and Josh Gibson. Sat in the dugout with Babe Ruth. I mean, just everybody sort of went through Jim Thorpe's life.
Interesting. And, without really revealing too much about the book, because obviously, I want people to read it and, discover it for themselves. But talk to me about something that really struck you when you were doing your biography on him, doing your background research, something that, really stood out to you that maybe you weren't expecting?
Well, one of the things I wasn't expecting actually has to do with football, which was his coach at Carlisle was Pop Warner, famed Pop Warner of youth football. And he was a terrific coach, very inventive, one of the first proponents of the forward pass, developed a single wing and double wing offense. Mm-hmm. But Pop Warner was not a great human being. And, during Jim Thorpe's career there, the Native American players who played for him rebelled against him and said that he was both mentally and physically abusive. So, kind of interesting other side of the story to Pop Warner.
Yeah, so it's just interesting that you learn things about other people while you're doing this biography on one person.
Well, the people that intersect with his life in various ways. Yeah, I mean, as for Jim Thorpe himself, there were so many parts of his life that surprised me. I didn't realize that after his athletic career was over, he went out to Hollywood and was really in 70 movies, as an extra or in small parts, and was really the leading spokesperson for about 200 Native Americans who were in the fringes of the studio system trying to get jobs and urging the studios not to hire white people and to play Indians in the Westerns, which they were doing a lot of.
Yeah. Oh, interesting. Okay. And, furthermore, do you talk any about, he has an award named after him, a very, very big college football award. Do you talk any about that in the book?
I mean, he was in his era, in Jim Thorpe's era, the football players played 60 minutes. Mm-hmm. They didn't come out of the game. So he was a brilliant left halfback. And also a great defensive back / linebacker.
Right.
And the college award is for the greatest defensive back.
Yep.
And Jim Thorpe was terrific at that. He could literally do anything on a football field. He was not only a great runner and tackler and defensive back, but he also was a great punter, probably the best punter of his era. He could punt the ball 70, 80 yards routinely. He was also a place kicker. He won many important games with his field goals and drop kicks. So he could literally do it all, and playing defensive back was part of that.
Well, we got this Heisman guy. Maybe we just need to change the Heisman Award to the Thorpe Award.
He was a better player by far than Heisman, I'll tell you that.
Yeah. I think that's very interesting. He's kind of like the original, everything man, for lack of a better term. He's a Hollywood guy. He's a football guy. He's a baseball guy. He's a little bit of everything. A lot of everything, actually.
I mean, all around. I mean, that's what the decathlon is, right? It's 10 different events. And he was great at that. So he was even a great ballroom dancer. He could play ice hockey. But that's not to say that his life wasn't troubled. It was. After his career was over, he struggled in various ways. Some, because of society's prejudices, some of his own doing. He struggled with alcohol throughout his later life. And so, it's not an entirely triumphant story, but it's one of perseverance and enormous talent.
Well, I guess when you're a biographer, you gotta highlight everything, and I think what that highlights is that none of us are perfect, and that all of us go through our own struggles.
Oh, absolutely. There's no such thing as the perfect human being, and people can identify with somebody who struggles and keeps going and perseveres, and that's the story of Jim Thorpe.
Awesome.
You've got a picture in this book, and I've seen it several times and have heard the story behind it, but the one where he's standing there and he's got two different shoes on.
Yeah, absolutely.
For the folks who might not know that story, tell that.
Sure. Well, that was in Stockholm in 1912 at the Olympics. He was competing in the decathlon, and one morning he couldn't find his shoes. Part of the, some people say that they were stolen. I'm not sure of that. They were, in any case, went missing, misplaced. And he and his coach, Pop Warner, had to struggle to find another pair of shoes. They came up with a pair of mismatched shoes, different sizes, different, everything was different about them. So he had to, for one pair of the shoes, he had to wear 2 pairs of socks just to make them fit. And yet he went out and competed in 2 events and won them, even with the bad shoes.
Wow.
On his way to winning the decathlon by a bigger margin than anybody in history.
Well, and I think that kind of highlights what you were mentioning earlier. Is it's hard to compare athletes, from different eras because of diet and workout regimen and stuff like that. Because there wouldn't be too many athletes today who would have to compete wearing different shoes.
I don't think so. When people ask me who's the modern equivalent of Jim Thorpe, I would say it was an Alabama guy, probably Bo Jackson, right?
Oh yeah.
Who could do anything. He didn't compete in the decathlon, but he probably could have and done well. But it is hard to compare from different generations because of all of that.
Yeah, because I think it's interesting you bring up the great Auburn running back Bo Jackson. But he was never really involved in Hollywood. He was never really involved in in the Olympics, especially to the scale that Jim Thorpe was. And I think part of that is as sports has modernized, people are athletes are told to specify in one sport, focus on one sport. Where I'm sure in Thorpe's era that was way less common.
It was far less common, and in Bo Jackson's era, he was rare in that he played 2 sports, right? Football and baseball. Well, Thorpe played at least 3.
Yeah.
Now at what is it? At age 10 or 11, the young athletes are siphoned off into one specialty, which I don't particularly like myself, but I understand the pressures for it. But I think playing all the sports is good for kids.
No doubt, and I have a coworker at the newspaper I work for who swears that if Dan Marino played in today's NFL, that Dan Marino would absolutely dominate. And it's just it's almost impossible to actually compare that. But tell me a little bit about your perspective about how good of an athlete Thorpe would be in the modern era.
He would. Well, I think that football was his best sport. And I think he would have to, he would play either offense or defense, probably. As a runner, I'd compare him a little bit to Paul Hornung in that he would be both a great halfback and a kicker, which Hornung was as well. But he was better than Hornung in both of those aspects. So, he would be an All-American and a great pro in football today. He wasn't the biggest guy in the world. He was about 6 feet and 190 to 200 pounds. But he was swift and strong and very agile.
You mentioned Paul Hornung of the great Green Bay Packers, of which I am a huge fan, by the way. You're up there in Wisconsin. But we'll segue. And I wanted to talk about some of your other books. You have written a book about Vince Lombardi.
Absolutely.
As well. Tell us about that.
Yeah, When Pride Still Mattered. It was my first sports biography. I sort of consider it the first of a trilogy, from Lombardi to Roberto Clemente to Jim Thorpe. And Lombardi was my chance to write not just about, I did grow up in Wisconsin when the glory years Packers were dominant, but it gave me an opportunity to explore Lombardi, the meaning of Lombardi. I mean, he struggled for 20 years as an assistant coach before he got his chance to prove himself. He was 46 years old and about to give up football and go into banking when Green Bay gave him the shot. And in, those 9 seasons up in Green Bay, he was unparalleled, won 5 championships in 7 seasons, and became the iconic figure who's now has the Super Bowl trophy named for him because his Packers won the first 2 Super Bowls. But it was my chance to write about competition and success in American life and leadership and what it takes and what it costs. And I tried to do that all through his incredible life.
Going into banking, can you imagine going up to his window and you've got a problem with your account?
Well, one of the stories in my book is a kid who had the paper route in Green Bay that included the Lombardi house on Sunset Circle. And the kid said he was scared to death for 2 years that when he came to collect, that Vince Lombardi would answer the door.
That's awesome. I mean, and I'm sure you touch on this in the book, the impact Lombardi has had on coaches still to this day. They still use his speeches, and at the start of seasons, Jimmy Valvano, when he gave that really great speech at the ESPYs, he brought up how his first game, I can't remember where he was at the time. I think it was maybe Rutgers or NC State, but he brought up a Vince Lombardi speech, and I think that this speaks to how he resonated beyond just football.
Absolutely. Some people misunderstand Lombardi a little bit. I mean, he was a tough guy, but he leavened that with love for his players. And there's some coaches who think that being Lombardi means you're just a tough coach, and there's more to it than that. Lombardi knew how to get the best out of all his players.
Awesome. And you mentioned Roberto Clemente. I would like to talk a little bit about that, because I'm sure you talk a lot about how he was very dedicated to giving back to people.
Yeah, so many athletes are called heroes, but very few of them really are. Roberto Clemente was. His motto was, if you have a chance to help others and fail to do so, you're wasting your time on this earth. He was a very proud Puerto Rican and Latino, the first great Latino player in the major leagues. And when there was an earthquake in Nicaragua in 1972, he organized humanitarian aid to help the people down there. And he heard that the strongman dictator of Nicaragua, Antonio Somoza, was withholding the aid for his own purposes. Clemente said, well, if I go, it'll get to the people. He boarded a plane which crashed on takeoff. Mm-hmm. So he died heroically trying to help humanity.
Yeah, and that's the first thing I ever learned about him, was that he passed away literally trying to give back to others and make a difference in the world.
Yeah, that was Clemente. He truly did that. Aside from being a great baseball player and a beautiful right fielder, I think one of the great thrills in baseball is to watch a right fielder make a great throw to third base or home plate. Mm-hmm. And Clemente could do that. I can't tell you how many people I interviewed who said that was the strongest memory they had of baseball, was watching Clemente make a great throw.
Yeah, and unfortunately that was before my time, so I never got to watch him personally. But it sounds like he was one heck of a player and was really able to use his platform to make a difference.
That's exactly right.
So you've got a book signing coming up next week up in Nashville, not too far from us.
Yeah, I do. I'm going from Tulsa to Oklahoma City to Nashville. I'll be there on August 25th at a great independent bookstore there called Parnassus. And interestingly, I'll be in conversation with my son, Andrew Marinus, who's also a writer who works at Vanderbilt and lives there. So that'll be a lot of fun. I'll get to see Andrew and his family and also talk with him at the bookstore.
So I guess you get to save money on a hotel then.
He's got 2 little kids. It's too hectic.
Okay.
Well, Nashville. You ever visited Nashville before?
Oh, I've been there many times. As a matter of fact, I teach every other year at Vanderbilt. So, yeah, it's one of my sort of homes away from home.
There you go. Nashville's growing like crazy. I hope you can get in there with all the road construction.
Yeah, I know. Every time you look around, there's a new apartment or something going up.
Yeah, it's a great place to be. And I would love to maybe possibly get up there. What did you say the name of the book signing? It was Parnassus?
Oh, great. Yeah, Parnassus, Parnassus.
Okay.
It's in the Green Hills neighborhood. It's the great independent bookstore in Nashville. And I think I started probably 6 or 6:30 on next Wednesday night.
Next Wednesday night. Maybe I can swing that.
It'll
be fun.
are you going to just doing the Jim Thorpe book, or are you going to have?
People can ask me questions about something else, but I'm there for the Thorpe book. Yeah.
Okay. All right. I didn't know if folks could come by some of the other ones. So.
Yep. Sure they can. Yeah, they'll have some of the others there.
Okay.
Cool. Well, we really appreciate you coming on the show and, plugging this book with us, Path Lit by Lightning, by David Marinus, who's also the best-selling author of When Pride Still Mattered, and this book highlights on the life of Jim Thorpe, but also check out his books on Roberto Clemente, and Vince Lombardi. And Mr. Marinus, thank you very much for coming on.
Well, before we let you...
My pleasure, guys. Great to talk with you.
Before we let you go, tell folks how they can get your book.
Yes, sir.
It's readily available. It's already a bestseller, so you can get it at any Costco, at Barnes & Noble, on Amazon, or at your independent bookstore.
Great. Well, Mr. Marinus, I hope to see you next Wednesday. If you want to see Mr. Marinus, go to Nashville and go to Parnassus and check out and check him out. And
have a good time in Nashville. Yeah.
Absolutely. And once again, we really appreciate it, and hope you have a good rest of your weekend.
Thanks so much. Good talking with you guys.
Thank you. And we'll be right back on Applebee's Tailgate Talk live from Cooper Field.
Missed part of this week's Tailgate Talk? Go online to tailgatetalk.net and hear the archives. Call or text us with your comments during the show at 256-812-1848. We'll be back with more Applebee's Tailgate Talk on WKAC.
Your roof is the first line of defense for your home. Do you have water stains on your ceiling, paint peeling off your walls, shingles missing? It's probably time for you to get your free roof inspection. Locally owned and operated, licensed, and insured, Yellowhammer Roofing is the Yellowhammer State hometown team. Yellowhammer Roofing. Let our family protect what's most important to you, your family. 256-232-1933 or online at yellowhammerroofing.com.
Customers agree. There's just something about Scooter's Coffee. Since 1998, their mission has been to keep folks happy by helping them scoot in and scoot out quickly while roasting their coffee from the top 10% of specialty beans in the world. Choose from hot drinks like their Caramelicious and Honey Vanilla Latte to cold offerings like the Strawberry Acai Quencher and Iced Mocha. They've also got smoothies, teas, and blenders. You'll agree, too. There's just something about Scooter's Coffee. Amazing people, amazing drinks, amazingly fast. Scooter's Coffee, 547 Highway 72 West in Athens at Town Center. Scooter's Coffee.
Hey guys, this is Joanna for CEI Bookstore and Truth Publications. Many of you are searching for Bible study materials for your Bible classes. Our best-selling Bible curriculum, Discovering God's Way, is a reliable tool for teaching students of all ages through the Bible in its entirety. We're sure you'll love this curriculum, and if you'd like to see other options of Bible classes, we'll be happy to help you select from our topical studies. So stop struggling with the search and come by and let us help you select reliable and meaningful study materials for your class today. CEI Bookstore and Truth Publications, taking his hand, helping each other home.
Limestone Drug, located on the square in downtown Athens, is your local Health Mart pharmacy. As your local Health Mart pharmacy, Limestone Drug is locally owned and has a personal commitment to the community. Limestone Drug honors prescription drug plans, including Medicare. They accept flex spending cards and fill prescriptions in minutes, not hours. Limestone Drug knows there's nothing more important than your family's well-being. So shop Limestone Drug at 200 West Market Street in Athens, your local Health Mart pharmacy. Limestone Drug, caring for you and about you.
Takes the snap. He's going to roll out to the far side. He's going to throw it off his back foot deep. He's got a man. Touchdown! James Clements!
Be listening for James Clements High School football this season as the Jets take on the best in Class 7A competition. You can hear every featured game streamed live online at pasnetwork.net, on your Amazon Echo device by saying, Alexa, open Play Action Sports, or on your Play Action Sports app, and later on demand. You can also hear the replays at Sunday afternoons on WKAC Radio. Join us for exciting coverage of James Clements Jets football this season from Play Action Sports.
Hi, this is former Major League catcher Ed Hearn, and you're listening to Applebee's Tailgate Talk.
And welcome back to Applebee's Tailgate Talk. I am Adam Dodson alongside our producer extraordinaire, Tim Lambert. We are live from Cooper Field here, home of the Ardmore Tigers for the middle school jamboree. And joining us is the East Limestone head football coach, Clint Woodfin. Mr. Woodfin, how we doing?
Hey, guys. Great. Saturday morning, sitting here at Ardmore playing some football, and this is as good as it gets.
Absolutely. So, I saw you out there, coaching the middle schoolers up a little bit. What are you looking at, just from the middle school level just to, build that foundation for the high school level?
I think every coach, when they look at their middle school program, it's just making sure that they've got good numbers, that the kids are learning football, they're learning how to play full speed, they're learning how to put their face on people, how to block, how to tackle fundamental football, and having a good experience with it.
Absolutely.
And we always know that as kids go through the grades and middle school turns into high school, there's always going to be some attrition that takes place. We just want to make sure we got a solid foundation and we coach up our kids how we want to coach them and instill the behaviors and beliefs that we want instilled.
Absolutely. And, just kind of segueing to the high school level, you all started your season off on Thursday, big rivalry game with Athens. East Limestone traveled incredibly well to Larry McCoy Field. It was a great atmosphere. Really enjoyed seeing both teams out there, seeing both coaches. Just talk to me about what you take away from the outcome of the game and where you all go from here against Central Florence next week.
Well, I think, number one, give Coach Gross a ton of credit. His kids were ready to play. One of the best Athens teams that I've seen in several years. I think they're going to be really, really strong in their region. But they came ready to play, and I think for us, some of the takeaways. I think in the first half we had some things that didn't go our way. We lost the turnover battle. We had two fumbles and an interception that gave Athens the ball in plus territory. We lost the field position game, which I think was big, and we never got a break in terms of momentum. There was an inadvertent whistle with a recovered fumble that we had that just completely, and it was right after we scored. So it really changed the tide of kind of what was taking place. And it took us a while to get settled in and play in that type of environment because our kids were super excited. But I think there were a lot of takeaways in terms of things that can be done. We got a chance to really, really evaluate our players. With us playing on Thursday, we had a chance to look at the film yesterday and got some things that we can correct, and the things we can correct, we can correct. And, of course, the best thing is coming out of the game, we didn't have any injuries.
Absolutely.
So that's big.
Yeah, and you all are not lacking in confidence. I know that enough about you and enough about the team now that you all are a very confident group and believe in each other. And, you talk a little bit about the takeaways. And now talk to me about, your preparation this upcoming week for Central Florence because, it's going to be your home opener and a lot of people are going to be very excited.
They will. I told our guys yesterday and I told them Thursday after the game, I said, look, I said, you guys are not going to watch Thursday night's game. I said, y'all need to just get to school, show up, and then we're going to talk about it this weekend. But for us, and the thing that I told them, I said, look, this game's over with. I said, we've got a really good Central Florence team that we've got to prepare for that's going to help us get us into the next season, which is region play. And that's the most important season that we have to prepare for and get ready. And I said, look, we got 1 week. Really, we got 2 weeks, but we have 1 week to make sure we fix the mistakes that we made, to harp on the strengths and the things we did well, and to make sure that we're ready to go for Central because that will get us ready for Fairview and going down to Fairview and playing a really good Fairview team in 2 weeks.
Absolutely. And you talked a little bit about, the mutual respect that you and Coach Gross have for each other because, you've played him multiple times before your time at East Limestone. Talk to me about, the respect he has for you and the respect you have for him.
Coach Gross, I remember watching him when he played at UNA and he won his 3 national championships and got to know him when he first got the Athens job in 2016. And he does things the right way. He instills toughness and he instills community and he instills a very selfless type of attitude when it comes to his program. He works at every job that you can imagine a head coach doing. We were actually laughing before the game and just think about all the things that we have to do as a head coach that do not involve football. Do not involve our players, does not involve the game. There's so many things that take place. And Coach Gross he's a very selfless individual who can do those jobs and never thinks he's too good to do those things. He'll always run a first-class organization and program, and for us being the East, we love the rivalry that takes place between these two communities in this program. I told him, I said, look, as long as I'm the head coach at East Limestone, we're going to play Athens. We're going to play them at the beginning of the season because it's something that's great for the community and for us as a program. It's great for us because we know what we're going up against, and it's a great litmus test for us to see kind of where we are as a program. So it's good to have that rivalry, but it's also good to make sure that the guy running that program over there is going to do things the right way, and he'll do nothing but help us.
Absolutely, because nothing creates buzz in the community more than a West Limestone Ardmore rivalry and an Athens East Limestone rivalry to start off the season. I mean, that's what the fans really want to see in Limestone County is these great teams being willing to schedule each other and compete against each other.
Yep, that's exactly right. And that's the neat thing about Limestone County is there's so many rivalries that have been going on for years and years and years, and it feels like there's a rivalry coming up every 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Which is great for the kids and the community and the fans, and it just makes it a lot of fun.
Awesome. And so, do you want to highlight a couple scenes?
Well, I was gonna ask him something here about the rivalries. I talked to Coach Shelby Davis earlier this week, and they started their year off with a rivalry game against Ardmore, and I asked him about that. I said, you've been traditionally playing them at the end of the season, and I think here in recent years, Elkmont and Ardmore moved their game earlier in the year, and people think about those rivalry games at the end of the season. So I asked him about that, and he said, well, I kind of like it at the first of the season because a lot of times you get to the end of the year and one team is not really doing very well, and that maybe that side doesn't have as much energy as they would going into the season,
right?
And I had never thought about it that way, but that's true. So I mean, you start out with a real emotional beginning to the season there, and I know that I guess y'all will be at Athens. I mean,
Athens will come to us next year.
Come to you next year.
Yeah.
And I remember, I don't know if it was Coach Creasy or maybe it was Coach Gross. Anyway, they would the week going into the game, they would pipe the da-da-da-da-da across their PA the whole week just to get used to hearing the band playing it so many times.
Well, and we actually I talked to my AD yesterday, and we were talking about what it's going to be like when Athens comes over. Of course, Athens has a bigger stadium than we do, but I'll tell you what, there wasn't. I told our AD, I said, we'll figure out a way to squeeze every single person we can. If we gotta have people bring their own seats, or we gotta move bleachers in, or like whatever it's going to take, but we want as many people there as we can possibly get.
And there's not as much room on those sidelines.
No, not even close. No, not even close. But look, if we gotta give up a little sideline space to make some room for fans,
no, I hear you.
We'll do it.
I hear you, and I actually really like how East Limestone's stadium and field is set up. I really like the backdrop with the school behind it.
Yep.
I think it kind of it funnels everyone in well. Where there's every seat in the house is a good seat.
Absolutely.
For an East Limestone football game.
Yep, absolutely, absolutely.
So let's move on to a couple of seniors here on the spotlight.
We got such a strong senior class, and there were so many first impressions that I got from our seniors. I think the first one that comes to mind is Justin Robinson. Justin's he plays corner for us, and he's one of the first ones I met and actually had a sit-down conversation with in my office. And the reason I had a sit-down conversation with him is I was up there. I was up at the school on a Friday and in the summer, and so the kids were off. And Justin shows up, and he wants a football, and he wants a ladder, and he goes out by himself, and he's working ladder drills. And, it's 100 degrees outside. I bet you, I think it was like around lunchtime. So, I mean, it was even hotter. And so he got done. He came back in and got him in the office. And, man, just a great, great kid. One of the hardest workers we got. Takes a lot of pride in what he does. Is a vocal leader and is just eat up with football. And those are the kind of kids you want. And those types of kids are everywhere in East Limestone. Guys are just eat up with football, love the game. They love everything about it. Fortune Wheeler was actually the first player I had a conversation with.
Yeah.
Special young man. He is, again, another one who is just eat up with football. Does everything the right way, yes sir, no sir. kind of kid, raised the right way, just an outstanding young man who's an exceptional football player.
Yeah.
And disappointed that he didn't get to go through Thursday night. But he'll be back this week, and so I know our team especially is excited to see him come back, and I know Fortune's super excited. I think it was killing him not being able to play.
Well, I'm excited to see him play too.
Yeah, absolutely.
I know. I mean, I talked to him a little bit on the sidelines. He just came up and fist bumped me real quick.
Sure.
I just thought it was cool that he acknowledges other people. Like he's very. It seems like he's very appreciative of everyone around.
And he is very humble. He is very, very humble. He's very unassuming. All the attention that he got last year, and the attention he got this year, you never would see it from him. His attitude and his belief system has not changed. He's an outstanding young man.
Has he committed?
He is not.
Okay.
Not yet.
I couldn't remember if I'd seen you see so many of these graphics pop up on Facebook. And
that's right.
Yeah.
Maybe it was the uniform reveal.
Yeah, that might have been it.
So.
Yeah, and just with Fortune, it's going to be great. See, I'm sure he's like foaming at the mouth, ready to get out there.
He is absolutely, no doubt. And talk about some of the strengths that came out, or some of the highlights that came out of the Athens game. Our offensive line played really well.
Yeah.
And we've got, and that's one of our bigger senior, junior, sophomore mix unit that we have. We got, we're not senior dominated there. We've got a couple seniors, we've got a junior, and we've got a sophomore. But one of the seniors on there, Colin Willingham and Caden Autry, actually two of them. Caden plays center and Colin plays right tackle. Two guys that had an unbelievable game against Athens. Fight their tails off every day. Not loud, assuming guys. They're not, they don't have that, that type of, persona. They just go about and they just do their job, man. They're silent giants. And, both of those guys did a really good job Thursday, and just excited that group right there gets the block for Fortune. That's definitely one of the strengths we have on our football team right now.
That's good, and it's you brought Colin and Fortune with you to Media Day, the Limestone County Media Day, and talk to me about how we've talked about this multiple times, but never on the radio show before. Just talk to me about how they were really, really willing to make sure that they welcomed you with open arms into the transition with the football team.
Well, I think it's always one of those things where when you have a transition like that, and I've seen a transition as a player, and as an assistant, and being a head coach. And so the first thing that happens is you're always, as a player and even as an assistant coach, you're always like, well, wonder what the expectations are, what's going to change, and then what maybe is going to stay the same. And it's very important as that coach when you're coming in to establish your belief system.
Yeah.
And then to make sure that you follow up with that belief system. And, and I told our guys, I said, look, we got 4 rules. We're going to be on time. We're going to listen, follow instructions. You guys are going to be expected to go as hard as you possibly can, and we're going to expect you to be where you're supposed to be at, doing what you're supposed to be doing. And, man, that has been consistent all the way through. Our guys have been reminded several times about those expectations. And but the next thing is, and to reassure them, is that we're still going to play physical football.
Oh, yeah.
And, that is always going to be something we're going to do. No matter what formation we line up in or what defense we're in, it's still going to come down to a one-on-one situation where you're going to have to defeat a block or make a block and then go make a play. And so that's something we want to instill within our middle school, and something we're going to keep instilling and will always be permanent within East Limestone. And
it's my understanding that it's not only East Limestone that's really been welcoming to you, but some Athens folk as well, like Ron Oakley. Has been apparently very welcoming to the former Athens soccer coach.
It's funny. It's so interesting. Our SRO at East, he graduated from Athens.
Okay.
And so it's funny because he, as we were talking through the week, he's like, man, he goes, I'm pulling for East. Just know I graduated from Athens, but I love East Limestone, and man, I hope we give it to him. But it's funny how worlds are colliding. And it's been neat to see that, and to see the level and the type of community that's around East Limestone.
Absolutely. And Coach Woodfin, we really appreciate you coming on the show. We appreciate all you do in the community and all you're doing for East Limestone. And we really look forward to watching you play Central Florence.
Well, look, I was on the Tailgate Talk. Man, it might have been 9 years ago.
Oh, man.
At JC. It was a minute. But it was a lot better at Applebee's because we got fed. There's no food around here. So
Yeah, no,
I was hoping to get some appetizers in. But anyway, look, y'all, what y'all do for Limestone County football and athletics, and the fact that y'all are here right now is awesome. And you're highlighting our schools and our programs and our community and these kids. And to me, I'm grateful to be on here, but grateful that you guys are doing this.
Absolutely. And Coach Woodfin, we really appreciate you, like we said, and thank you for coming on. And, this is Applebee's Tailgate Talk. We are live from Cooper Field, where we are hosting the show and watching some middle school jamboree football. And we will be back after this break.
You can help Limestone County student athletes by donating to the Bama Zach Memorial Scholarship. Send it in care of Garth Garris, 13833 Pinnacle Drive, Athens, Alabama, 35613, or make it in person at First State Bank of the South at 1319 Highway 72 East in Athens. We'll be back with Tailgate Talk after this.
From day one, First National Bank has been built on a strong foundation of community first. First to lend a helping hand, first to help with community events and fundraisers, first to support local students, athletic programs, and civic organizations, first to support events like United Way, Relay for Life, and many more charitable events, and most importantly, working for our great community. Without you, there'd be no First National Bank. Making communities great together, that's what we strive for.
Equal housing lender, member FDIC. Real estate, real easy. That's the motto at Innovative Realty Solutions, and providing the highest quality real estate services is their mission. With sound real estate advice, the latest information, and a skilled analysis of the real estate market, Innovative Realty Solutions offers a better home buying and selling experience with a fair, ethical, and, yes, innovative process. Innovative Realty Solutions. Visit them on Facebook, online at innovativerealtysolutions.com, at 100 North Clinton Street in Athens, or call 230-5950. Innovative Realty Solutions. Real estate, real easy. The reviews are in for Box Drop Mattress in Ardmore, and they're awesome. Just like the store. Box Drop in Ardmore has mattresses made in the USA at huge discounts. Plus, they offer flexible payment options and no credit is needed. And they'll deliver right to your door. Box Drop, located at 26561 Main Street in Ardmore. Open Tuesday through Friday, 4:30 to 6:30, and Saturday from noon till 4. Appointments also available by calling 321-8888. Box Drop in Ardmore, 321-8888. Daly & Son Car Care is Ardmore's only one-stop auto repair and tire shop. Whether it's major mechanic or brake work or routine maintenance like an oil change or lube job, Daly & Son Car Care has been satisfying customers all over with their fast and friendly service. They're also your headquarters for quality Cooper tires. Stop by and see Wayne, Nikki, or Dale at 25600 Main Street in Ardmore, Tennessee, or call them at 931-427-4651. They're on Facebook too. Daly & Son Car Care, open Monday through Friday, 7:30 till 5, and Saturday, 7:30 till noon. Tune in every Tuesday through Thursday this football season for the WKAC Coaches Shows. Join us as we get the scoop from Ardmore, Athens, Clements, East Limestone, Elkmont, James Clemens, Tanner, and West Limestone. The WKAC Coaches Shows on 1080 WKAC.
Hi, this is David Cox, girls basketball coach at Athens Bible School, and you're listening to Applebee's Tailgate Talk.
Action. I'm all about that action. I'm all about that action. I'm all about that action. I said I'm all about that action.
Welcome back to Applebee's Tailgate Talk. I am Adam Dodson alongside producer extraordinaire Tim Lambert. We are at Cooper Field, home of the Ardmore football Tigers, where we got a little bit of middle school jamboree going on. And more importantly, we got AP Steadham on the line, the Swami of the SEC. AP, how we doing?
Hey, good morning. Good morning. So glad to be on Applebee's Tailgate Talk, WKAC 1080 AM, Athens, Alabama.
Hey, Pete, what you got going on, man? You're never in the same city more than 2 days in a row. So where are you at today?
No, I'm back at the house here in L.A., Lower Alabama. We're getting ready for the football season. We'll be going here 2 weeks from today. We'll actually be in New Orleans at the Florida State LSU. We're really excited to see if Florida State's getting better, and can Brian Kelly have a turnaround season at Notre Dame? $100 million. What's that worth to the Tigers? We'll find out that first game.
They're not starting off in the preseason top 25, so expectations can't be too high for Kelly right now. I'm sure there's going to be some pressure, but very interesting with these two programs really trying to turn things around.
Oh, yeah. And you saw that Miles Bennett, he walked away from college football.
Yeah.
Starter. So, that was kind of a slight surprise, because at the press conference in Atlanta, Coach Kelly, he wanted Miles to be the starter.
Yeah, and that's very interesting. Kelly hasn't exactly had the smoothest transitions into LSU. He's done some stuff that some may describe as goofy. He's done other stuff that some may describe as questionable. And I guess this is the latest in a flurry of instances where maybe what he says isn't exactly matching up with what it is in reality.
Right, exactly. But he's a Hall of Fame coach, though.
No doubt.
Yeah, so I think he'll do good things at LSU. I really do. I'm not sure if it's going to happen this particular year, but he's got a transfer quarterback with experience. He digressed. The freshman, he was 17-2, 17 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. Third year, last year, 10 touchdowns, 10 interceptions. So those numbers are going in the wrong direction, both of them.
Yeah, and with Florida State, I feel like it's something new with them all the time. But they're a very proud and traditional fan base. Talk to me about what you were expecting out of Florida State, if you're even able to expect anything out of them this year. Yeah,
I think you're probably looking for better quarterback play from them. And hopefully he's recruiting to the standard of Florida State. I don't know if it'll ever reach that level with Bobby Bowden. He had national championships, and then Jimbo Fisher had a national championship there. So, that's quite the standard. That's a standard as high as anybody in America. Pick a team, that's been winning championships, Alabama, anybody. But Florida State was on that level. I don't know if they're going to return. But, hey, you're in the state of Florida, plenty of ball players. It takes the person at the top to galvanize everything.
Yeah, I'm a firm believer that you could just recruit in the state of Florida and never have to leave the state, and you'd have all the talent you need.
Absolutely. And we did a little story on our show, AP and Kelly As We See It. We spoke about the top 10 Blue Bloods, and we consider the Blue Bloods the top winning programs of all time. Mm-hmm. 6 of them this last decade did not have a good 10 years.
Yeah.
They were below their winning percentage overall. So just because you have all the money and you've been winning over the course of time, 50, 60 years, it's the person at the top that matters. And we found that some of these teams could not get the right person at the top. We're going to find out about Florida State.
Well, yeah, and I think what everyone is afraid of becoming is, kind of like that has-been program. And I hate even using that word, but it's almost kind of like you're afraid of turning into Nebraska, where you used to be really good, but you've been average for so long that no one even considers you one of those quote-unquote blue blood programs. And I think that's what Florida State is in the midst of trying to avoid right now.
Yeah, that's a consideration, because we all know history to 18-year-old individuals is about 3 years. That's history. About 3 years. About something like that. Yeah, 10 years. That's forever to them. Yeah, 10 years.
But let's talk a little bit of SEC. Let's talk about what are some things that are going to catch your eye or have caught your eye, as the beginning week of football swiftly approaches for SEC football.
Yeah, I think Alabama's above everybody. Georgia's right behind them. And then you have, let's say, in the Eastern Division, you have a tier with Kentucky and Tennessee. And then you have South Carolina, Missouri, Florida, and Vanderbilt, a separate category. And then in the West, you have, A&M with a $75 million coach and having the good recruiting years. They're trying to get in the elite level with Alabama. They beat them last year in College Station. There's been things going on between the two coaches. And you have Ole Miss and Arkansas. Can they duplicate those successful seasons? I'm not sure. I'm not sure they can. And Mississippi State, veteran team, can they make that leap? Can they be a surprise team in the West? And then you have Auburn. Everybody has them down at the bottom. I don't know. They're kind of hungry, and nobody has their eye on them. They're trying to find the exact quarterback, or quarterbacks, I should say, and we'll see what happens there. But that's how I view the SEC overall.
Yeah, and I'll tell you, the paradox of Auburn exists every single year. If you expect them to do really well, they're not going to do that well. But when everyone rides them off at the beginning of the year, they always have like a 10-2 or better season.
Yeah, that's the pattern. You know, with the 5 home games in a row, third game is key for them. That Penn State game, I think they can take Penn State, because Penn State's quarterback is not exceptional. I think on the average side, Auburn has a big home crowd advantage. And then you play, after that game, Penn State, you play Missouri, very beatable, and then LSU with a bad coach on the road. That's 5 home games. They could be 5-0 to start the season. They could. Yeah. And then from there on, you're gaining confidence. And if you can win the close games, you understand that they don't have the talent to really overwhelm somebody. But if they have that confidence at 5-0, and the kicking game is solid with Carlson, you can win some games that you couldn't probably win.
Yeah, and they go 5-0. That not only does that Auburn feeds off that momentum, but it also takes a little bit of pressure off Harsin. After the tumultuous offseason he had, starting off 5-0 would certainly silence some of the doubters.
Yeah, and he's a person. All these coaches, they put so much pressure on themselves. I mean, we can't pressure them any more than they individually can. I think that Auburn, like I said, I think it's going to take quarterbacks with an S to have a successful season. Robbie Ashford, use him down there in the red zone. He's fast. He's a former baseball player. He can throw from the angle. They got to have the solid kicking. Carlson's got to have a good year. Receivers have to play better. They've got to get some support from the receivers. They got a good group of tight ends. Veteran offensive line should play better. The offensive line. Definitely have good running backs with Tank and Hunter and other freshmen there as well. Defensively, they got to come alive on that side of the ball. Some secondary people they have to replace. Got to get a good pass rush. But, like I said, those 5 home games, if it was different with the home games, maybe I wouldn't be as so optimistic. But I'm optimistic about Auburn because they're hungry and nobody's watching.
Yeah, and, talk to me briefly, just about South Carolina, because they're the team that really piques my interest this year with Rattler there.
Yeah, South Carolina, Spencer Rattler, definitely. I mean, that's a huge upgrade on that side for them. So we're going to see, because you're looking at teams that are evaluating quarterback. But they've got to rely on stay with it. That's going to make a big difference. You have to have a above average quarterback. You have to have a very good quarterback. And that just gives you a chance. That doesn't even mean you're going to win.
No, but you're exactly right, though, that, every team has a good coach and a good quarterback, I feel like. I mean, and so if you don't have those two, you're missing a huge part of the equation. And it seems like South Carolina's trending very much in that direction of good.
Yeah, he was able to get to a bowl game from the low average quarterback situation last year. So I think Beaver wonders with Spencer Rattler. I think, once you had your ego bruised like he did at Oklahoma, he's got a lot to do, not only to himself, but to the fans. And when I spoke to him down at the Manning Passing Academy, I said, what did you do well last year? And he goes, well, I won. And I think he had a pretty good record as a starter, but you could tell that his feelings were hurt.
Yeah, well, and it's like you just said, he may have had his feelings hurt, and I think that's just really, really going to motivate him to have a good year because, people like making fun of guys when they're down, but he's a tremendous talent. There's a reason he was preseason favorite for the Heisman. While it was preseason, there's a reason people thought that.
Yeah, and, the thing about motivation, I always use this example. We're going to talk a little basketball here for a second, but I was at a tournament game, and the headlines the next day was the one team said something that people were kind of slide by this. We're not even worried about it. Well, if you don't have the talent, I don't care how you're motivated, you're not going to beat a team that's superior. But Spencer Rattler definitely has the talent.
Yeah.
So he has the motivation plus the talent. That's the key. You must have the talent to back up your
Yeah, and he was on that Netflix show. I can't remember what the name of it was. It was like QBU or something like that. And he had a lot of media attention on him at Oklahoma, and I feel like he's not going to obviously not fly under the radar at South Carolina, but I feel like he doesn't have as much of the spotlight on him as he did at OU.
Right. Yeah, they have a very big brand, OU. I mean, that's why they're coming to the SEC. It's not for the fan base in Oklahoma, a small state with not much population. It's the entire brand, the national brand. Mm-hmm. That's why it comes to the SEC. South Carolina has rabid fans. South Carolina and Clemson, they have some of the best fans over the years because they're filling the stadium, and their teams are not even close to a championship, but they're showing up every Saturday for their ball games. So we'll have the eyes of the state on him, but nationally, they'll peek in if he gets an upset or two.
Yeah, and I mean, you're very much right about South Carolina and their fans being rowdy. I was at that 2010 Alabama-South Carolina game where Steven Garcia just went nuts.
Game of his life.
Yeah,
right.
Game of his life, and that place was absolutely jumping, and it really was a sight to see, despite me being a Bama fan.
Oh yeah, no, that's a tremendous place to watch a game if you never had an opportunity in Clemson as well. I've been to both stadiums, and I really enjoyed it. They love their football teams, and they're very loyal. They're some of the most loyal fans I've ever been around. Like I said, we're not winning the championships. And, Clemson's kind of the nouveau riche in this blue. I mean, I wouldn't call them blue blood, but, they had a championship there, in 81 with Danny Ford. I think it was 81 or 80, and 81, I guess it was, or 82. And then, now with Dabo winning championships, beating Alabama, that's pretty solid. Clemson.
Yeah, and you got to think that they're going to have improved QB play. I mean, another guy that people very much enjoyed making fun of last year that I think is uber talented and really going to raise some eyebrows this year is Uyunglele.
Yeah, you said it better than I did. So he's got to be more accurate, make better decisions. He's got to have the support like any quarterback. Defensively, they're usually very good. And Clemson, I mean, they're the class of that league. There's nobody that should scare them in that conference. So it's up to them to perform very well because they can win it, not even playing their best game every week.
Well, tell us who you got coming up on AP and Kelly and where folks can hear it.
Oh, yeah, AP and Kelly, as we see it. We're on the platforms with the Android and the Apple. We usually put that up there on Thursdays. We tape on Wednesday, and we just got notified we're having a really interesting guest, a special guest on Wednesday, the Archie Griffin, the two-time trophy winner. And we wanted to get him on the show because he's the only one who's won the Heisman 2 times before the season. So we want to have him discuss that coveted trophy and some of the qualifications he looks for. He's voting for a Heisman trophy.
Cool. Well, I'm going to have to check that out, AP.
Yeah, go to our Facebook page, AP Kelly as we see it. We're on Twitter as well. And we're all over the state of Alabama, and up in Tennessee and Mississippi, and we're heard in Georgia and Florida, and we'll be out there in Hawaii too pretty soon as well. So we're really enjoying it. And we had this past week, Tony Barnhart. You can listen to our episodes, all the episodes, and Dean Blevins, the quarterback, and he's the sports anchor, award-winning sports anchor in Oklahoma City. And our first show was Steve Hatchell, the president of the National Football Foundation. So those episodes are on our Facebook page, AP and Kelly as we see it.
Awesome. Well, AP, as always, we really appreciate you coming on.
Hey, thank you so much for having me. I certainly enjoyed it. Thank you so much.
Absolutely, sir. And we are about to take another break, and are we coming back after the break? Tim is saying we are headed out of here. So we are signing off from Applebee's Tailgate Talk, live from Cooper Field, home of the Ardmore Football Tigers, where middle school jamboree is going on. And as Tom Cat would say, we don't have to go home, but we got to get out of here. And have a good one.
Caution. The temperature isn't the only thing soaring this summer. Call Ardmore Telephone Company today and upgrade your internet to move faster than ever. If you're a current customer, we'd love to discuss our internet options so you can connect to everything you need. Give Ardmore Telephone Company a call at 800-830-9946 today. Fiber is not available in all areas.
Hey guys, this is Joanna Clem for CEI Bookstore and Truth Publications. I'd like to personally invite you to visit CEI Bookstore. While you're here, you'll find a wide selection of Bibles, gift items, trustworthy study materials, and more for you and your church. Our friendly staff will be happy to help you with your selections while you shop in the store. We even offer personalized Bible imprinting and gift wrapping. Not in the Athens area? Enjoy shopping with us online at truthbooks.com. CEI Bookstore and Truth Publications, taking his hand, helping each other home.
Quality Vinyl is on your side. Quality Vinyl in Athens has been in business since 1987, offering great prices and service the whole time. What has changed is the technology of their products. From vinyl siding and shutters, sunrooms and screen rooms, to doors, windows, columns, and rails. Quality Vinyl, located on the corner of Highway 72 and Reed Road in Athens, just 6 miles west of I-65. Call 232-2665 or visit them online at qualityvinyl.net. Quality Vinyl is on your side. When things go wrong, State Farm is here to help life go right. And Agent Michael Howell is the one who can help get things back on track. See Michael for your auto, home, life, health, property, and business insurance, and be ready for those unexpected twists that life throws at you. Ask about banking and annuities, too. Call State Farm Agent Michael Howell at 232-5400. Visit him online at michaelhowell.net or go see him at 903 South Clinton Street in Athens. State Farm Agent Michael Howell. There when things go wrong, here to help life go right. You've been listening to a special edition of Applebee's Tailgate Talk. You can hear the archive of this and other shows online at tailgatetalk.net. Applebee's Tailgate Talk is a production of Play Action Sports on 1080 WKAC.